Welcome back to The Joyful Budget. My name is Lorraine, and today I am talking about one of my favorite topics. It is how I save thousands of dollars a year on my children's clothes, and I am not exaggerating. I just recently went shopping, maybe a couple of weeks ago, and I got $1,000 worth of children's clothes for $31. So I am not joking. I saved thousands of dollars, and it's a strategy that I've been kind of like perfecting over the last 6 years. And it's something that you would be able to replicate at home. And it doesn't matter kind of like what stores you have, it's something that you would be able to do. So I'm hoping that this will be really helpful for everyone because I know that, clothing, it can be one of those big stressors. It's something that you have to get. Your kids are constantly growing, and just trying to find ways that will actually help you save even more money rather than just saying, oh, go buy secondhand or use hand-me-downs. Personally, I don't think that's super helpful because it's kind of obvious, and even buying secondhand can be expensive. So this is how I hack the system. All of the clothes, the majority of the clothes that I get for my kids are $1 or under. So this is how I do it. So stay tuned. Okay, so how I do this, the basics of what I do is I buy bulk at very, very cheap on sale prices. Like I'm talking $1 and under, well in advance of when my kids will actually fit those clothes. So that is the system in a nutshell. It's been working for me for 6 years, like I said, and over the years I've just been like perfecting the system. And I know what you are thinking because I tell this to people all the time, and every time I talk about this I get the same responses and comments. So I have a pretty good idea of what you are currently thinking. So if I haven't answered your thought or addressed it by the end of the video, comment it below, and I will answer, and I will talk about it in the comments. So what I do, just again, is I buy bulk well in advance of when my kids will actually fit those clothing at extremely low prices. So what I'm doing basically is kind of like building out a sustainable hand-me-down system for my children. So my children I've got 3 of them, but the 2 oldest are boy and girl. And so sometimes I can use hand-me-downs from the oldest to the middle child, but not always. And I can't always rely on hand-me-downs from like friends and family because it's not something that happens regularly. And I'm so grateful like once in a while when it does happen. But I mean, I can't even remember the last time I got like maybe like a dress or 2 or like a pair of snow pants. That was only recently, and I don't even remember the last time I got hand-me-downs before that. So to me, hand-me-downs isn't super sustainable. So I have to build out my own basically. So what I do, I primarily shop at Once Upon a Child, and that is a chain of secondhand clothes for kids from newborn up to size 16. And they're a pretty popular chain across North America. So there's a pretty good shot that you've got one in your city or in your area. I don't live in a particularly large city comparatively, and I have 3 in my area. So they are fairly common. So that's where I primarily shop. And what I've done is I have monitored my stores. And so I've learned their cycle, and I've learned when the best deals are coming down the pike. Like I know when to go, and I know kind of like roughly what's going to happen because I've been monitoring them. So that's my first tip, is to like whatever store you have in your area, whatever secondhand kids clothing stores you have, just watch them and take note and kind of learn when their things go on sale. So for me personally, in my area, and this is probably going to be similar like across the board because it just makes sense in terms of like sales and marketing. So in my store, what happens is sometime around January and sometime around late July, early August, they have a huge blowout sale of like 90% off their items because they need to make way for the next season items. So in January, they're trying to clear space so they can bring in all of their spring and summer stuff. And in, late July and early August, they're trying to clear away so they can bring in all of their fall and winter stuff. And so that's when they are doing their big sales. So I never know the exact date, but I know roughly when it's going to happen. And so I keep a watch out. And how their sales work is they'll start like a lead up. So like what happened this past January, in January, early January, their clearance stuff was like started off at 50%, then it went to 70. So in that 50 to 70% sale range, I might pick up some things if I really like it. Like if it's something that's really, really cute and I really, really want it, or my kids really need it, that's when I will pick those items up at the 50 to 70%, but I'm not buying bulk. It's like one-off items. So for example, I bought, there was a specific dress that I really wanted, and there was a pair of sandals that I really liked, and I thought that those sandals weren't going to last. Like I thought somebody would pick them up and they weren't going to last until they got to the better sales. So if you see items that you really like, pick them up then, not necessarily in bulk, but just pick them up because, you know, that's kind of like the first rung of sales and they might not make it to the better sales. So if it would upset you to miss out on that item, pick it up at that price point. Then what happens is that after those 50 to 70% off sales, it goes to dollar days. And so they have a few days where everything in the store that has a clearance sticker, and that's like from equipment all the way up to like kids' clothes, toys, everything was $1 if it had that clearance sticker. And so that's when I went first thing. Being a stay-at-home mom, like I'm able to do that. If you can't do that, like try and go just as early as you can go. Like the sooner the better. So I went first thing and I bought 44 items for $44. I got things like Vans sneakers, like all sorts of stuff, and I was buying as many items as I could. Like it was like a big shop that I did. So I bought bulk then of things that I really liked that I didn't think were going to last until the next rung of sales. So I bought bulk there. 44 items, like I said, for 44 bucks. Then a few days had passed of the dollar days, like a week or so, and then came the 90% off sale, where everything in the store that was clearance was 90% off. So that is when I bought even more stuff, in more, like so much stuff I bought. And that's where I got $31 of stuff. And the savings at Once Upon a Child was like, I can't remember how much it was like $200-300, which there in turn means that the retail price of those items were like $1,000 because of the way that Once Upon a Child prices their items. So yeah, I got $1,000 retail for $31, and that's even crazy, like really good for savings, like just in Once Upon a Child. So I was getting, you know, Levi jeans for 70 cents, Gap shirts for 30 cents, pajamas for 40 cents. Like it was so cheap. Like you can imagine 90% off their things. It was crazy. Now, it's not just that I buy bulk when it's super cheap, but this is the real trick that I do, that I mentioned before. I buy way in advance of when my kids are going to be actually wearing these clothing. So I'll take a look at what is in their size. And if there's anything in their size or like the next size up, that's great. I'll pick those up as well. But I look at all of the sizes to like the end of their, you know, stock. And I go through and I buy stuff. So I have things for my son that I bought. You know, I have Lacoste t-shirts that I was getting in size, you know, 14, 16. I've got jeans for him from Levi's and Gap that were really great for size 12. So I picked those up. Like my daughter, I was buying all the way up into size 6. So, and she's only 3. So that's what I was doing. And I know, because every time I say this to someone, and I said it to somebody in the store actually, and they gave me this comment back. They said, oh, I would love to do that, but I can't because my child is so picky about their clothing. My child, you know, they'll only wear Paw Patrol, or they'll only wear, you know, pink things or green things or blue things or whatever. They're so picky. But I'm talking like way in advance here. So I'm pretty certain that just because your, you know, child only wears green right now, when they're 12, are they only going to be wearing green? Maybe, but probably not. And what I do is I don't buy things that are too trendy. Like I don't buy things that are going to be too trendy, too interest specific. So anything that's like overly branded, like I'm not going to get like a whole bunch of shirts for my 10-year-old for something that's overly branded that he may or may not be interested in. Okay, so I got interrupted by my little one. I'll try and like not show anything. Okay, maybe I'll just have to put like a little sticker over there. Anyway, basically what I was saying was that one of the biggest comments, like the most common comment that I get whenever I mention this to someone, is that they say, well, I can't shop that far in advance because I don't know what the style is going to be. My child, you know, is so picky about their clothing. They'll only wear, you know, this certain type of clothing or this certain thing on their clothes. So I'm not gonna like waste my money and then have them not want to wear it in the future. So how I get around that is I don't buy anything that's too trendy, that's totally gonna go out of style in the next couple of years, let alone like, you know, I don't buy anything that's gonna be super out of style. And then I don't buy anything that is too interest specific. So if it's got like a special, like a TV show on it or something that's like, again, like current and trendy to the day, I'm not gonna get that for them because I don't know if it's, you know, it's a pretty low chance that they're gonna wanna wear that in the future. But things like Star Wars, Marvel, Disney, I feel like those are pretty timeless. And so I will pick those up. And there are some that have like kind of slogans on it, like, you know, like a phrase like genius or, you know, just like jokey ones. I got my son one that's like, fry yay, and it's got a bunch of French fries on it. I don't know. So things like that, if I think that there's a pretty good chance that my kid will actually like to wear it in the future, it's not going to go out of style and it's something that they will probably be interested in wearing, I will buy that. But if it's, again, anything too specific, I don't pick it up. So you'll see, like when I buy things for my kids way in advance, they're super boring, super basics, like jeans, black, gray t-shirts, blue t-shirts, like super, super basic stuff. Because yeah, that's just like the safer bet. And I'm betting on like 30 cents. So it's not that big of a deal. If it comes to the point where they, you know, do fit it and they don't want to wear it, it's not that big of an investment. So yeah, that's how I get around that problem. And so far, like I've been doing this for 6 years. My child right now, like my oldest, he is very particular about what he wears. And I've been successful because the things that he is currently wearing are things that I picked up for him years ago. So it does work. And that's how I get around that. Now, the next thing that I do, if I've gone through all those sales at Once Upon a Child, another way that I can do this too is go to Value Village. And they have pretty good prices at Value Village. I will say though, if you're gonna be shopping there, they don't take as much care as they do at Once Upon a Child to make sure that the clothes are actually good quality. So, you know, I've gone there and there's things that are stained and have holes in them and things like that are way too much wear or like way out of style. So you do have to look a little bit harder and be a little bit more mindful, whereas you don't necessarily always have to do that at Once Upon a Child. There's like 3 to 4 people who have to look at it before it gets put out. So you've got a pretty good chance at Once Upon a Child of, you know, not having a problem with your article of clothing. Anyway, all I have to say is that at Value Village, they do something called like fill a bag. So they have this like big area just full of 0 to 3T clothing, and you can fill a bag from, you know, the smallest is like $3.99, and then there's a medium one for $6.99 and a large one for $12.99. And so you just stuff that bag with as many things as you can and then pay that flat rate. And I just recently did that like a couple days ago, and I filled my bag, my $12.99 bag with like 18 or 20 items. I can't remember which, but like more than 13 items. And so everything came out to under under $1 for those articles. I think it was like 75 cents or something like that. So very, very cheap. And I was getting, again, like Levi jeans, Gap stuff, sweaters, like so much stuff that I got. It was a really good selection that time that I went. But with Value Village, the best time to go for those fill-a bags is like late July, early August to like late August, because they are trying to, you know, open up and get rid of a bunch of their current stock to make room for their Halloween stock. So like whenever you start seeing like Halloween stuff come out at Value Village, go and look at this fill-a-bag section and their children's clothes section, because they are trying to move that inventory out. So that is the best time to go over there. I've gotten the best deals and there's just so much selection. So I highly recommend checking, like kind of monitoring your Value Village in the lead up to Halloween. Anyway, so that's how I do it. I buy bulk, super cheap, way in advance of when my kids will wear it. Now, that frees up a lot of monthly income in my, like in the current day. So like, because so for example, like right now, because I have been doing this and I had like a whole bunch of like basically like hand-me-downs to pick up on my basics of my son's. I had the basics of my son's wardrobe, the basics of my daughter's wardrobe covered, that, you know, if I see something in a store that it's really cute and I want it, like not in a regular retail store, I would never buy, like I would very rarely, if ever, would I buy from an actual full price store. But when I say like new, I mean full price, like at Once Upon a Child. So if I see something that's really cute at Once Upon a Child, but it's not on sale, I don't have to feel stressed out about, or like any like anxiety about whether or not I'm going to be able to afford this, because the basics of my kids' wardrobes are already built out. So I'm not trying to, you know, get them everything that they need full price. So I have that kind of wiggle room in my monthly budget to be able to buy something cute for them that's not necessarily on sale. So all of the things that I have for my kids that are, you know, particularly punchy or super cute or super trendy, that's the way that I've gotten them. I've just used my monthly budget, my regular monthly budget, to buy them those items. And so if they, you know, outgrow something really quickly, or they need something for school, or I just see something that's really cute, I don't have any of that like anxiety that I normally would have felt buying those full price items, just because I know on the back end, like I've got all this stuff covered. Yeah, because I just like, it's so expensive. Like if I bought, you know, I was buying my son jeans for 70 cents versus $7. So I got him like 5 pairs of jeans for less than 1 pair of full price jeans. So it really does help, and it does work. So that is just like in a nutshell what I do, and I hope that this was really helpful. I can show you some things like what I've purchased. I have like some examples, but I put everything away, so I don't really have like tons of stuff out, but I did keep a couple things out. So these are Vans sneakers. Really, you see what I mean? Like these sneakers aren't going to go out of style anytime soon. Okay, they're not bad quality at all. They're not run down or like overworn, and they were $1. And they're a few sizes too big for my son. But in the next couple of years, yeah, like this isn't something that's gonna go out of style in 2 years. So yeah, I was really happy with that. So that was Vans shoes for $1. I picked that up during dollar days. These were another find during dollar days. And I will say, like, so I got all these things during dollar days. And then when the 90% off came, there was like barely any selection for shoes for my son's size. These ones, these are New Balance sneakers. They're not very worn at all. Like good quality, not super worn. They were regular priced at Once Upon a Child, so this is 30% of what they would retail for. They were selling it for $10, and I got them for $1. And again, yeah, these are gonna fit him for the next few years, but they're not gonna go out of style. They're just blue New Balance sneakers. I personally have had my New Balance sneakers for like 7, almost 8 years, so they're fine. Here's an example of a t-shirt that I got my son, 90% off. This is just Joe Fresh, basic t-shirt, super basic. Nothing crazy. This is not going to go out of style. He will most likely want to wear this in the next couple of years. This is a size 10 to 12, but you know, with boys, you never know what size they're really gonna be. And then here's an example of something that I get at Once Upon a Child, and I will always, without fail, if I see it, I pick it up regardless of whether or not it's on clearance or not. They are Lacoste polo t-shirts. So I got a Lacoste polo t-shirt that are so expensive, brand new, for $7. And I got him, like, he has a few others, because I just could collect them every time I see them, in larger sizes. But again, I got them for $7. That's such a good deal for Lacoste t-shirts. And normally I'm the type of person where, like, you know, brand doesn't necessarily mean that the garment is better, like better quality. But for Lacoste, I truly believe it. It's like, I would never pay full price for a Lacoste t-shirt. That's not that good. But I don't know, there's something about these, like the way that they're made. They're kind of thicker. My son had one when he was younger, and like it never wrinkled. It always looked really, really nice on him. And it's just a thicker material. I don't know. It holds its shape. it's just a lot nicer than the other polos that I've gotten from other brands. And then here's an example of something, you know, this was his like first day of school sweater. Like, you know, this type of like sequiny dinosaur stuff is really like the color changing sequins are really popular right now. Super trendy. I got this at Once Upon a Child full price. So it was about, I don't know, I think it was $7 also. But again, so I got that for him leading up to school for his back to school wardrobe. And I could do something fun like that and trendy and full price, secondhand, because I didn't have to concern myself with the rest of his back to school wardrobe because I already purchased it 3 years ago. Okay, I'm like trying to hide because I'm trying to like hide so my baby doesn't get on the camera. But I really wanted to show some of these things to you. So these are things that I thrifted that I'm particularly proud of. So like this adorable little sweater, like how cute is that? Here, it still has the tag on it. I haven't put it away, but like basic shirt, you know, basic blue cardigan. These are things for my daughter. And these things I got on that like 90% off sale, right? That's really cute. Little dress. Like really far. This is a brand called Bowden. It's from the UK. I really like it. I've had a few pieces of it for myself that I wear. It's really good quality, but super expensive. And my kids have had a few items that they wear from, you know, that I've thrifted for them, but they're such good quality and they last a long time. And they're really cute. So I got this for my daughter. So you can see like mini, I don't know if you can see that, but it says mini Bowden. And it's just a cute little dress with little rabbits and bunnies and hamsters or whatever is on it. And then it's lined.
I made something.
Oh, you made something? And it's lined and it's linen, so I really like that.
The triangle jump the water.
You made a triangle jump the water? That's really cool.
There's a like a circle. What's that?
And then this I picked up because it was so pretty and it matches something that I have. So I'm kind of like hoping that my daughter will like to wear it when she's older. But this sequin shirt from is Zara and it's size 8. So normally so this is an example, like normally I wouldn't get something like this because I don't know if my daughter's going to like to dress up like this, but it was 90% off and I found it like it was 90% off and I have something that matches it exactly, so I just thought it would be really cute. But you know, it's really, really nice, hey? And now there is one type of thing that I would buy brand new, and I do pick it up new from the store because they're like magical pants, like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. They are the leggings or shorts from Joe Fresh, and I don't know what it is about it. Like here you go, the Joe Fresh one. They have these all the time at Joe Fresh in like a variety of different patterns. And they have them in leggings, like full length leggings, and then also shorts. And I always get them because they are such, like I always get them if I see them at Once Upon a Child, I will pick them up. And then I will get them as they go on sale. I get them at Joe Fresh new because they are such good quality. They last forever and they like always fit. Like, so these are the shorts. They're a size 2. They somehow fit my baby and they fit my 3.5-year-old. And I've had these shorts like forever. She wears them all the time. They just always seem to fit, and the legging material is a little bit thicker. I don't know, they're super comfy, but they just always seem to fit. So I've got them from size 12 to 18 months, and then I have them all the way up to size 5, and they all somehow fit my daughter. So like I don't know what they are, they're magic. But those are something that I do pick up because my kids wear them all the time. And they just never seem to grow out of them. They're still wearing them. And they're good for girls. Like the shorts are good for girls too, to fit under dresses or skirts. And then they wear them for pajamas. Like they're really multi-purpose. So I really highly recommend those as well. But anyway, so that is how I dress my kids, how I save thousands of dollars a year. And my daughter is dragging a toilet around the house right now. Oh my god. Hopefully an empty, hopefully empty. Anyway, that is how I do it. My girls are now up and about, so I want to like sign off, but I hope this is helpful. And if you have any questions or comments, comment below. If you have any tips or tricks, I have some thoughts about Facebook actually right before I leave. I have bought some stuff off of Facebook Marketplace, but for the most part, I feel like it's overpriced or like higher price than what you could do if you're just buying them at the store. At Once Upon a Child, because when I worked at Once Upon a Child, often what I would hear we would make them an offer on what we would pay them for, and they felt that they could do better online, and so they would go online to sell them themselves. And you know, sometimes I just feel like they're higher priced than what I could get them at Once Upon a Child for, especially the 90% off. But sometimes you can get them in like, you'll get like garbage bags full of clothes and you don't really know what's in it, but they'll say like baby clothes from 0 to 2T, have at it, like girls have at it, and then you'll see what you get. And then sometimes you can also find them for free. Sometimes people just want to get rid of the stuff and you can get them for free. So that's also very helpful. Nothing better than free. And yeah, that's just like my opinion. I don't get them too often, and I also have to take into consideration like the drive to go and pick them up can be, especially where I am from, like it can be a really long drive and it's just totally not worth it. But sometimes you can find some good deals on Facebook. Anyway, now I am officially signing off. Hopefully it was helpful. Let me know below if you have any ideas how you do things, and if you have any questions. So yeah, have a great day. Bye.